All right, welcome back, my friends, to another video where we are plucking a comment from the comment section, and I'm shooting a dedicated video on this. This is a newer series that we're gonna start doing, and it's just based on when I see a reply that I think is great that I should make a video around, or it's like the 5th time I've been asked this. Well, you guessed it, we're gonna shoot a video about it. And so this one is actually featured under our Lendio business credit video, which, what is going on with this, huh? So this comment comes from Nadine. Great content, please share all credit and funding available for 120K salary, 680 FICO, and 2019 discharge Chapter 7 personal bankruptcy. Ooh. This is a juicy one. There's a lot here, so let's dive into it. I immediately said like, hey, great question. I should probably just shoot a video because not sure I'm in the mood to answer, directly in the comment section. I don't feel like writing books sometimes. And also too, sometimes people just ask like, hey, how do I do like this whole thing? And I'm just like, nah, because it proves you haven't watched any videos on a channel. I didn't make over 360 videos on a channel so that I could get asked, how do I walk from somebody, or why is the sky blue? And have to explain that in a whole comment. So a question like this is great. And the reason why is because, man, we're sitting just underneath the threshold of a 685, which is usually from a business credit funding standpoint, they want to see at least a 685. So we're just below that. We got this curveball, which is this bankruptcy. That being said, we got strong salary, we got strong earnings, and a lot of times strong stated income and documented income do really, really well and can kind of trump a lot of these derogatory marks that we see. And we covered this in a dedicated video of somebody who went out and got a 25, I think it was 20K or 25K at Navy Fed, and they got derogatory marks all over their report, low 600s, but they had like 200K stated income. So DTI and stated income do play a big factor in this. That being said, there's a response. Again, I have no clue why this isn't showing up. Let's go here. 3 capital ones, 3 credit ones, 1 Olo that just merged to become Ally, yep. 1 Show, 1 Blaze, 1 Open Sky, to which I added 4K of my own money, and unfortunately I have loans I really need to consolidate or put on a high limit 0 interest card to pay them down fast. I have good salary, but I'm break even every month, so it doesn't really matter. Break even every month, that's crazy. Talk through the scenario here. If she's got a ton of credit rebuilding cards, but my question and concern here is like, what is the total credit limit we've got across all of our cards? If it's like 5,000 and you got these derogatory marks, man, you're up against a tall order, right? You've got a long way to go. If you've got like over 10,000 or one of these are like a banger, like a 5 or 10K card, then that starts to look better, right? With that strong stated income, their creditors are gonna wonder like, how come we're not seeing like a 15, 20, 25K card on this profile? Like that will come into play. And then they start looking deeper and they're like, well, we see all these essentially credit rebuilder cards. What's going on here? That will come into question for sure. I don't know the answer to that, but let's talk through a few things here. FICOs, like I said, they're on the borderline, they're on the edge. The Chapter 7 is rough because it's new enough that the banks that you burned on that Chapter 7 are probably not gonna really wanna do business with you. So what your best approach I think would be here is exactly what Florida said here, is work with credit unions. So I think that's gonna be your best option for 2 reasons. 1, credit unions still tend to offer a secured credit card that graduates. Now, you're not gonna see this listed on every single credit union website, but a lot of them, 6 or 7 out of 10, will offer some sort of secured credit card that graduates, or after you've had it for 6 to 12 months, they start to give you offers. It's like this whole thing of getting into their ecosystem. Some specific examples, Navy Fed will graduate you 6 to 8 months down the road into usually the green card, which is the cash rewards. So you start with the N rewards, which is secured, and then they'll graduate you down the line. Now, granted, some others like big brands offer this as well, Discover, etc. But I would probably more so focus on credit unions and building up some relationships, especially if you can get in the Navy Fed and you haven't burned them, they weren't on bankruptcy. That would be a great play because on the personal side, you can grow through that pretty quick because you have strong salary, bring our DTI down, and that would be a play for the future to squeeze out, a nice 25 to 50K on a card there. And then you could pivot into the business side, which is essentially what she's asking for, because those are ghosted cards and they're a great option, right? Anyway, that's one play, but that doesn't answer this pestering question of, I need a 0 balance card right now. I don't know what your DTI and utilization look like, but if you've got high utilization and DTI right now, and you need a 0% card, it's probably not gonna happen because the bankruptcy is too recent. It's gonna probably just look too high risk. You need to bring down the utilization and the DTI so that it looks better to credit unions and smaller banks. And that would be my approach for like a a 12-month window, growing new relationships and getting myself into position for not only getting high personal credit limits, but business credit limits. If you didn't like what I just said and or you want to get a temperature check, well, you could go to Discover right now and do their pre-qualification and see what it comes back with. If it comes back with can't get you approved or, you know, $1,000 limit or something like that, well, that's telling you right there what the likelihood of a lot of other banks would be in that kind of section, right? So it's like Discover, US Bank, American Express, et cetera, et cetera. Like you could go to American Express and do a pre-qual with them as well. I don't know what you're looking at in terms of the last 12 and 24 months in terms of new accounts, but you could possibly even look at Chase. So there's enough pre-qualifications that you could go look at those. What's Credit Karma recommendation engine saying? What's Experian recommendation engine saying? What cards are showing up consistently across all these recommendation engines, if any? Then the pre-qualifications, that's your temperature check. I always tell people that's where I would start because we need to figure out like, what is the appetite here for my credit profile? The stated salary, which over a six-figure salary for some reason just does a whole lot better with banks and getting increasing your approval odds. We've got a Chapter 7 though that you also have on there. And it's recent, that's the thing. I would look at that and see what that comes back. Especially, I'm very curious to see what Amex and Discover would come back as. Use that as your temperature check. If we can get something high enough limit there, a 10 or 20K card there, do a couple of those and then start to look at building relationships with a couple core key banks and go from there, right? Like you could also BOA, PNC, US Bank, those are also relationship banks too. If you wanted to get your foot in the door there, that would be another thing that you could look at with, again, our timeline and window on that would be a 6 to 12 month timeline, which I know is not right now, but setting yourself up for the future, like let's not get so wrapped up right now and hyper-focused on trying to fix this that before you know it, a year rolls on, we had no longer term plan that we executed on, we're fumbling the ball still, because that's how a rebuilding process stretches out to 3, 4, 5, 6 years. Trust me, I know, my rebuilding process took way too long. So anyways, I hope that helps for Nadine and anyone else in that position. Thank you so much for commenting. Comment below on this video if you've got questions or you just want to add some input, and we'll catch you in the next one. See ya. Hey, did you know that we actually have an entire credit community set up and established? It's been running for almost 3 years now, and there's everyone in that community, from credit rebuilders all the way on up to multimillionaires that have real estate investment portfolios, right? So we all know that getting around like-minded individuals leads to success. Success leaves clues, right? Regardless of where you're at, I guarantee you that there will be somebody in this community that is in a similar or same position as you. If you want to join this community, it's completely free. Join this link right here that's showing on the screen right now, and we'll see you in there. Hey, you should subscribe. 60% of you are not subscribed yet, right there. Okay, bye.